Hey, good afternoon. I hope you're viewing this before you actually start on this week's assignments. If you go to Scholar, and we go down to our second week, June 7th through June 13th, this will be the longest set of exercises that you'll be working on. In other words, this will be the most hours you put in all semester for a particular week. It's because of Chapter 2, which is on energy, radiation, very important concept in meteorology. And so it's a rather lengthy chapter. I strongly encourage you to read the chapter. I also, if you have your textbook, like I said, the textbook is not required because I provide all the materials you need in the video. But the video itself is almost 2 hours long. Like I said, it's because there's a lot of information in this particular chapter. So you'll be spending probably anywhere from 8 to 10 hours this week easily working on the set of assignments. But the good news is you survive week 2, which I'm sure all of you will, then you won't be spending as much time each week as we go through the course. I have the PowerPoints here, and again, I recommend that you print out the PowerPoints, and as you're watching the video, that you take notes and also, probably more importantly, write down any questions that you may have. Now, we have a series of videos because I'm attempting to help you build your forecasting tool belt. It's extremely important that you watch each of these videos. This video, Forecasting for the Surface, you see right here it is a 14-minute video. Please make sure that you view that. And then I talk about moisture and forecasting winds. You're going to have to view these videos because a large part of this course has to do with forecasting. And to be able to know how to make forecasts, you need to understand how to use the tools in your weather forecasting tool belt. So I click on this particular link here. It's about a half an hour, just a shade over half an hour. And then I also talk about forecasting clouds using the satellite. And you've got an 11-minute video here that you see for this particular video. So just in the videos alone, this first video, or the second video, hopefully you're watching this video right now as the first video this week. But the second video is just a 90-second video on how to check your forecast scores and answers, because you're making forecasts and you need to review not only your scores but also see which questions you're missing. So if you find you're missing the same questions, let's say you're missing questions on advection, and again we haven't gotten to advection yet. Next week I have a video that explains what advection is. But you can come to me and say, Paul, I keep missing the same question on advection. Do you have any tips, any pointers to help me with that? So this will show you how to get in to check your forecast scores and your answers. So you've got 90 seconds here on this video. This is almost 2 hours. So basically between these two videos, 2 hours. The forecasting for the surface is a 14-minute, so you're at 2 hours, 14 minutes. Here you're at 30 minutes, so now you're at 2 hours and roughly 45 minutes just on these videos, and then another 11 minutes. So between these videos here, you're talking about 4 hours. So you really want to start viewing these videos starting as soon as possible. Now, as I'm sitting here presenting this video this afternoon, it is Saturday, June 4th, so I am making this available to you now, because normally I make all of the areas on Scholar on Tuesdays. But since this is going to take quite a bit of time this week, I'm going to go ahead and open it up starting a couple of days earlier. So make sure you spend your 4 hours. Now, obviously, you're not going to sit down and spend 4 hours straight doing these videos. Really, it's just not feasible. But I would say you need to go through these videos. You need to review the 4-hour video total by no later than Thursday of next week, of this week coming up. Okay, so June 7th, we start which is on a Tuesday. And by, let's see, by the 10th at the latest, that Friday, you should have all your videos viewed, because then you can ask me questions if you have any questions regarding these concepts. And you will, because radiation is not necessarily an easy topic. And forecasting, you're going to have questions on those. So really what you've got from today, Saturday, the 4th, through Friday, June 10th, to view these videos. Then at that point, that allows you 3 days to work on lab number 4 and also to take quiz 1. Now, there is a layers of the atmosphere video I forgot about right here. So that's another half hour. So you got 4.5 hours. So just 4.5 hours of videos this week. But keep in mind, this is the most time-intensive week, the June 7th through June 13th. After that, you will not be spending nearly as much time working on videos the rest of the semester. We're doing this to build your forecasting tool belt. The Lab 4. Now, for Lab 4, this is to help you with building your forecasting tool belt. So after viewing all of those videos, I have questions regarding the 500 millibar surface, regarding the surface map, and in this area, I'm going to have you draw features from the surface map and from the 500 millibar map on this map for part 3. And then in part 4, you're going to do some simple calculations, which I show you how to do in the videos from this week. And then you'll identify in part 5 moisture. Now in this particular map here, now in the videos that you've been viewing this week for sufficient moisture, there's a map that already has the dew point depressions calculated for you. This map does not have the dew point depressions calculated for you. So for instance, down here in Oklahoma, you've got a 850 millibar temperature of 3 degrees Celsius and a dew point temperature of 3 degrees Celsius. So the dew point depression here for this particular station in central Oklahoma is 0 degrees Celsius. So again, the map that I'm encouraging you to use when you're doing your forecast already has the dew point depressions calculated for you. But in this lab, lab number 4, part 5, you will have to calculate those on your own. If we look up here in Omaha, dew point depression of 5, a temperature of 5 degrees Celsius and a dew point temperature of minus 10. So the dew point depression for Omaha is minus 15 degrees Celsius. So that's a very dry air mass over that station. Part 6, you'll learn about how to identify features on the 700 millibar map. Again, I cover that in the video lectures for this week. So that is in itself, that is lab number 4. You will upload it. You'll need to scan it here. Okay, so you need to get access to a scanner once you've completed the lab to scan that lab and then upload it to this link here. Now, we get into our first quiz for this week over chapters 1 and 2. I have a video link from a couple of years back on strategies for taking the quizzes. Make sure you view this. This is really going to help you do well in your quizzes. And in fact, there's no reason why you should never get below 100% on these quizzes. If you view this video on strategies for taking quizzes, you'll see why. Again, like I said, this is an older video from a few years back, but it's only 2 minutes. And then, notice right here, I've got, you can print out your quiz and work on your quiz on the side. Now I'm going to blow your mind here. For Chapter 2, we've got 109 questions. So there are a lot of questions on this quiz. That's why you want to be done viewing your videos by no later than Friday of this upcoming week. Because what happens, you'll be working on this Saturday and Sunday and Monday between lab number 4 and the quiz. Now, the rest of the quizzes will come nowhere close to the 109 questions, but it's unavoidable because Chapter 2 is such a critical chapter. So, like I said, this week, you'll be spending a tremendous amount of time, at least 8 to 10 hours. Some of you may even be spending 12 hours. Now, once you've finished writing down your answers on here, then what you can do, you go into this link here, and then go ahead and start submitting your answers on this. One other thing I want to mention, because I've noticed now a second person has submitted a forecast but has forgotten to click on the submit button. If you don't click on the submit button, it's like you never did it. So if we go back up here to click on this link to access the forecasting assignment, and we go down to our class in this, after you've filled all this information in, make sure you click on submit. If you don't, then it won't get counted. It'll be a 0 for that day. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to send out an email here shortly telling you, asking you, imploring you to view this 12-minute video before you start this week's materials. Have a good day.